Hey everybody, and welcome to another Film Follower review. Uh, I'm Eric, and as always, I'm really excited to give you another opinion on a movie that's now out in theaters, or in this case, one that has expanded to more theaters. This week's review is for Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Um, and so I didn't know too much going into this movie. I just saw maybe one or two trailers. The draw to me was I'm a big fan of Sam Rockwell and Woody Harrelson, so I saw them in the trailers. So I said, this is one of the new movies out this weekend that expanded. It's kind of a little slow period between Justice League and Star Wars. So, anyways, let's just get right into this one. This film is stars Frances McDormand, and she plays Mildred, who she is the mother of, unfortunately, a younger woman who she was found murdered, raped, and lit on fire. A really terrible thing. And this movie's taking place, I believe, 7 months, maybe 6 or 7 months after what had happened, and there's been no solution. No one knows who did it. There's been no point in time for Frances to feel like there's been sort of justice done for this, and because of it, she has a lot of anger, and that's kind of one of the main themes of this film. For pretty much every character that's highlighted, is how people deal with death, with anger, with grief, how to process it, what they're doing. Is it self-destructive? Is it helping them move forward or not? And a lot of these characters, they're unfortunately going at it at a kind of, I wouldn't say the wrong way, but not a healthy way. And that's where our main character, Mildred, that's the problem for her, is that she has guilt. She's angry that there hasn't been any sort of leads on who had done this. No one's been punished for it, and it leads her to want to push the boundaries. And so that's the premise of the movie: is she rents out three billboards to call out the chief of police in Ebbing, Missouri, to figure something out. And unfortunately, it's a situation where there just really isn't leads. They've tried, and unfortunately, there just isn't a good solution to this problem. And that's something that goes throughout the whole arc of the movie, is the fact that this isn't a CSI where there is a whole bunch of different bits of evidence lying around, and there's just nothing, which makes the situation even more hopeless for Mildred. And along the way, she's challenged by a lower level police officer in the department, played by Sam Rockwell, Officer Dixon. And he plays a really interesting character. He's not really the brightest bulb in the world, and he's kind of a jerk a lot of the times. But he has a very cool, interesting arc. Out of all the characters, I feel like he has more growth and self-reflection because of the mistakes he made. He pays for it, and by the end, he has a little bit more of a different perspective on things. And yeah, overall, I mean, the trailers picked it out to have kind of more comedic flavor to it, and it has some comedy. So, there is some moments of levity, but again, this is a film that deals with the issues of people not being able to process their grief and their pain in a way that isn't destructive to others, and how that type of action can cause more terrible things to happen, because having one angry moment to someone else that doesn't deserve it can lead to another angry moment to someone else, and it just creates this nasty cycle. The acting was great. Everyone did a really great job. I haven't really seen many movies with Frances McDormand, but she was awesome. She was really good in it, and I liked the whole cast around her. Woody Harrelson's always fun. Like I mentioned earlier, Sam Rockwell. I think I just enjoyed his character, the arc he went through, but him himself playing this kind of dim-witted guy was interesting. It was a different change of pace from some of the characters I've seen him play. Who else? Peter Dinklage. He has a smaller role. He was fun to see in it as well. But yeah, no, all around, really solid cast. I enjoyed the story for what it was. It's what I liked about it is it felt like it had its set goal of what it was trying to tell, and it wasn't trying to be a movie that has a nicely wrapped bow in regards to any loose threads. There's lots of things that don't get resolution, but what you're seeing again is just how people are dealing with these issues and where they started and where they end up by the end of this movie, and it's very interesting. I especially liked how it ended. I won't spoil anything, but it just ends in a very you don't know exactly where things. You have an idea of where things might go, but you don't know for sure. And it's not kind of like they cut it off right before something crazy happens. It's more of a and I appreciated it. I wish there were more movies like that weren't too concerned with trying to create these cookie cutter situations. It didn't really feel like a cookie cutter. And yeah, I really liked that. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. It was a good time. Rating wise, I mean, I got nothing really to complain about. It didn't, it's not a movie that blows me away that I would need to see all the time, but I'd definitely watch it again. So I think I'd give this an 8 out of 10. I think that's a fair score based on how I feel about it. And yeah, I hear there's some talk of maybe a little bit of award contention. I don't really know where it'll go. It's kind of still a little early for that. But I wouldn't be surprised if someone gets a nod or two. It was entertaining, good film with an interesting character study and a study on people and emotions. And I think that's something that more people need to pay attention to, how people deal with problems and how to not do it in a way that hurts themselves or others. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys give it a shot. I know this is a movie that hasn't got a lot of a lot of trailers, a lot of people knowing what it's about, but it was an entertaining drama. I'd give it a shot if you're open to new experiences and looking for movies that have more messages that are trying to show you a piece of humanity and not just entertainment, something to give you something to leave with. Yeah, this is one of those ones that does that. So yeah, I would definitely give it a shot. Check out Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. And yeah, if you enjoyed this review, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you've seen the movie and you have your own thoughts, please leave a comment below, or you can always send me a message on Twitter or through email. All that's going to be listed in the description below. And yeah, I hope you guys have another great weekend, see some more movies, and I will be here next week with another movie review. All right, see you guys later.